Complex in Salem, Oregon. And today's game features the Salem Christian Fellowship versus Bethany Baptist. Hi, my name's Alan Bushong. I'm going to be joined by Dan Handy in announcing. Hi, Dan.
Hey there, Alan.
And as told you earlier, the regular announcers are on strike. We're the replacement crew, and just hoping for something good after the strike is over. Just kidding. It's great to be out here, though, at Wallace Marina. It's such a beautiful day. And there we are. We're in the shade, which is a privileged position to be. Looks like Salem Christian Fellowship. Is that the name of the team?
Salem Christian Fellowship with Don Biles, shortstop, leading off the game. Nice shot in the gap.
We talked in the previous game about how short the Bethany Baptist outfielders play, but with a ball hit like that, it doesn't make much difference where you're playing.
That sets the tone for the game. That's going to take Bethany Baptist back to regular length on their outfield.
A lot of speed there in the left center fielder that we saw in the first game, Marcus Bigelow, but when a ball's hit like that, there's no time to get to it.
Derek Kahn, third baseman, at the plate.
Great opportunity to score when you have your leadoff hitter in scoring position. With too much height on that ball, but he's got a lot of speed and he'll be tagging uncontested.
And if that second baseman hadn't fielded that cleanly, he probably would have tried for home.
See that ball's high in the air. It does move the runner. I'm not sure that was his intent, though, with nobody out in the first inning.
Kyle Hughes, left center fielder.
And that's going to score at least one run.
Nice catch at the wall.
Very nice catch, about 5 feet higher, and it's a 2-0 game, but as it is, that's a sacrifice fly, and you can see that Kyle gets all of it here. Nice line drive, and the fielder does a good job knowing the ball actually came out and brought it back in before it could tick the chain link. Great camera work.
He just knocked it over the fence for a home run.
Well, he's shown really good ability to go back on the ball, but these guys from Salem Christian Fellowship can swing the bat, and they are really putting the ball out there. Let's take a look at this here at the end of the play. Now, the ball is going to go over the fence anyway. I think it had the height. Here's another look even closer. Right off the tip of the glove.
You know, this does raise an interesting thing, though, that there's a 3-run home run limit for each team. Since he touched it in the field of play and knocked it over, I don't believe that's going to count against their 3-run limit.
That could be very useful because there's nobody on base, and when you have a home run limit, you're good at putting the ball out of the park. You might consider that a waste.
Colby for a walk. Brian Frazier, right center fielder, with 2 outs, runner on first.
Already a pretty successful first inning. Maybe this is why they had a bye.
They'll definitely be a little fresher. I believe this is Bethany's 3rd game in a row.
We're already 2-0 in the first inning. The leadoff double coming around on a couple sacrifice flies, and then the home run that was off the left center fielder's glove. Now with a walk, we've got a runner on and 2 out. And the pitcher looking for the plate. We talked about not having a lot of offense out here in these earlier games. Salem Christian Fellowship brought their bats.
That outfield is still playing somewhat shallow.
That was a great piece of hitting up the middle. And up the middle's still pretty open if you can get it past the pitcher.
Shortstop chooses to throw to first rather than the easy play at second, but result the same, third out.
But a successful first inning, and Dan, as you said, the leadoff hitter set the tone by drilling that ball. We're going to take a look there, and okay, if you're playing short, do you go to first or do you flip to second?
I would have gone to second on that myself, but
Well, me too, because I'm lazy, but as you said, it's the same result. So we have 2 runs for Salem Christian Fellowship, Bethany Baptist coming to bat. And Dan, you're right. Right off the bat, the leadoff hitter, by drilling that ball to the wall and picking up a double, even though the next 2 balls were high fly balls and fly ball outs, set the tone in a very good first inning.
they had 3 of the first 5 batters put it to the warning track. Pretty impressive, top of the order.
You can see a little bit of the beauty of Wallace Marine Park out here. What a great setting, a lot of trees between the fields. The weather couldn't be better on this July 19th, which is when we're recording this. You're seeing it a little bit later because CCTV doesn't have the ability to go live from the softball fields, and a lot of the people that might want to watch this are out on the fields right now.
Plus, everybody else in Salem's probably at the Salem Art Fair.
That's right. This is a weekend when a lot's happening here.
We have Josh Dunn, shortstop, leading off for Bethany Baptist.
Bethany showed a lot of speed on the base paths, picking up 7 runs in the last game that we recorded. A lot of hitting at the top of the lineup. Let's see how they do, because they don't want to ignore the challenge put to them by the Salem Christian Fellowship.
Just a little outside on that first pitch.
Leadoff hitter with a lot of speed and a great play.
That
Yeah.
took a quick release to get that there.
You know, it's a good thing that the shortstop was throwing, not the first baseman, because the first baseman threw the return out into left field. Nice stop, lots of arm, out.
Good call by Jeff McDonald, today's umpire.
And that ball's in fair territory, and there's no hesitation in going for second base.
Stands up easily.
Shortstop tried to decoy that the ball was coming in, but the runner is in easily, and that makes that previous play look all the bigger, Dan, because there'd be runners on second and third with nobody out. A nice quick play there by the right fielder, but
Got to that ball quick. That's going to send him way back.
that's over his head.
Almost cleared the fence. He's going to be standing on 3. Scores the runner from second.
I think that's called meeting the challenge, Dan.
Yeah.
A lot of bat here from Bethany Baptist. And we noted last game that they would hammer right field hard and then come back to left field. But that ball was 2 feet up the fence. So he just missed putting the ball out of the park.
That got there in a hurry, too. There was not much air into that.
Marcus Bigelow, who had a pretty good hitting in the first game that we saw too. That was a close play, and he's out. He's going to get an RBI, and having tied up the game, the shortstop made a whale of a play.
That's 2 nice plays this inning.
If he doesn't make these plays, there's not yet an out. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to make the call there. Tight play.
Chad Barkus at the plate.
Cue balls it in.
Nice opposite field single. Kind of tripped up at first, so he's not going anywhere else.
So both teams showing the ability to score, and then with 2 out to keep the inning going. We may have a little bit longer game than we've had in the first couple.
Nelson Sarfis. Quick release by the pitcher. As soon as he got it back, he flipped it, trying to catch the batter off guard.
Well, something has to happen here unless it's a foul ball, because we have a full count. And that's not a foul ball, but the fielder takes it easily.
Good jump on the ball by the left fielder. Had it all the way.
Well, Bethany indeed answers the challenge with 2 runs of their own and a lot of well-hit balls. Even the balls that were outs in this inning, Dan, could have been hits. 2 really fine plays by the shortstop and a hard-hit ball here that the left fielder runs down. So except for the good arm by the shortstop and a ball hit close to the left fielder, Bethany would still be out there hitting. And instead, though, at the end of 1 inning, we have a 2-all score. Looks like Bethany's changed pitchers again, too.
This is the 3rd pitcher we've seen in their last 2 games. They used the whole bullpen, apparently.
They brought him in the inning 7 of the last game, and he had trouble finding the plate. They had the luxury of a 4-run lead, and he walked 2 hitters. They brought in the second baseman, I believe second baseman, now playing second, to pitch. He got the final 3 outs. Let's see what he does here in this game. The fact that Salem Christian Fellowship hit so well, they may want to change up early.
This is the right fielder, Chris Davison, leading off the inning.
Well, different game, but same result.
Bill Dickey still having a little problem finding the plate today.
3 pitches and the leadoff hitter on a team that really could hit in the first inning.
Don Butler.
Catcher takes a while to throw that one back. That might be some kind of indication of a disagreement. But the result ends up being the same, which is another walk. And so with nobody out, 2 runners on. It's going to bring up the pitcher for Salem Christian Fellowship.
Guy Kamstra. There's some days you show up on the field and you just cannot buy a strike. Other days you feel like you can put that ball anywhere you want.
Well, one more bad pitch and we'll have the bases loaded with nobody out and the lead and the top of the lineup up. However, Bill Dickey gets this one in, but not the final pitch.
A little deep.
He's walked the bases loaded, and he's going to face a hitter that put it to the wall at the top of the first inning.
Looks like Don Briles, 44, shortstop.
And we've got the same pitching change that we had in the last game. And Bill Dickey looks like he's coming in to catch. Well, if they're bringing him into pitch, apparently he's had things have gone better for him in previous games.
Well, it's nice for Bethany, though, to have the luxury of 3 pitchers. Some days you need them all. Their first baseman was their starter in the last game, and I'm sure he'll be available this game if need be.
Well, the leadoff hitter for this team can hit. And that just happened to be right at somebody. But it brings home the lead run, and anything other than just about directly, and in this case Marcus Bigelow, and that scores 2 runs.
Third baseman Derek Kahn tries to go opposite field. Well, I guess you'd call that opposite field.
Almost put it into play.
Alternate
in
field.
Too. Oh,
Josh came up just a little bit on that. Had a play at home, but they chose to cut it.
well, that's costly because that was at least one out there. The ball got out there in a hurry, kept on going. Would you have let that ball go through?
I think I would have. Yeah, you're in it to it that far. You might as well see if you can finish the play. This is Kyle Hughes up to bat.
So Salem Christian Fellowship with 2 runs already. Just 1 out. Showing lots of offense.
Another walk. That's really biting them this inning.
Well, 3 base runners that put on the easy way when the team can already hit.
Ed Dean. I'm not mistaken. Didn't he hit the long ball that first inning?
No, I can't remember. But he
I
hit a
think
long
so.
ball there.
Right in the gap.
And they're going to have to start playing him deeper. This is going to bring home 2 runs. Well struck ball, and we'll take a look at it there, and not only hit a ton, but hit in the gap. Ball's just not in the air at all. 2 runs and 2 runners still in scoring position.
Brings up left fielder Colby Mullen.
Great opportunity to put a big gap between their team and Bethany Baptist. And there's
That's
another
way
run,
deep.
if not 3. But it's the 3-run variety.
He got it all. Brings in 3 runs there.
They now have 7 runs in this top of the second. Very impressive hitting. And those 3 gifts, those 3 walks, certainly not helping. Take a look at it here. He got it all. The left fielder goes back, but there's room to spare on that ball.
Right center fielder Brian Frazier up at the plate. He thought about swinging at that.
This is a team that has offense. If they don't walk him, they pitch to him, they hit. However, looks like they're going to need to pitch to him and make him prove it on the field.
Dave Helbert. Kind of off the end of the bat. Nice defensive play there. Turn 2 and get out it. Stop the bleeding.
Well, they get 2 outs on 1 pitch here to finish the inning, and we'll take a look at this. Cleanly fielded, the soft toss to second base, and then turning it for a full step. However, the problem was the 7 runs that came in earlier. The 3 walks didn't help, and then there was that towering home run to left field. A lot of really hard, and one of the hardest hit balls of the inning was the sacrifice fly that the leadoff hitter hit on the line. So at the going into the bottom of the second, Salem Christian Fellowship with a 9-2 lead, and Bethany now is needing to score more runs in this game already after 2 innings than they scored in the previous game that we saw them play. They're going to need a huge amount of offense.
We'll see how they answer that. They answered in the first inning.
And actually answered quite well, except for those good plays by the shortstop, and there was a ball hit on the line. There were no easy outs that they created in the first inning. We'll see how the bottom of their lineup can do.
Randall Gorey leading off the inning.
Dan, pretty important for them to get some back right now. They don't want to go off the field still down 9-2 and turn an offense over to this team that can hit.
They really need to. They know this other team is going to keep scoring. They got to keep up with them.
And a well-hit ball to start off the inning, but right at the first baseman. You take a look at that. Reaches over.
Is Bill Dickey playing first this game?
Sometimes an advantage to be a right-hander over there at first base. When the ball's hit to that side.
I'm sorry, that was not Bill Dickey. That was Jeff Davis.
Well, the third baseman on Salem Christian Fellowship, pretty good gun there. Take a look at it here where we see him cleanly fielding and firing across. Great camera work there by Don. Seeing that whole play.
Good throw, made it easy on the first baseman.
And already 2 outs. And just exactly what Bethany Baptist doesn't want to have happen. There's a nice ball in the gap.
That ball was knuckling, something fierce. That outfielder's lucky it wasn't hit right at him. Would have been a tough catch.
And unfortunate for Bethany, they didn't have runners on base because they got to run all day with that one going to the wall. We'll take a look at this. All the way to the chain link. And that one's a little bit too much in the air.
Got a late jump on it, but covered the ground, made the catch.
So with a nice running catch there from the left center fielder, they managed to keep Bethany off the scoreboard altogether. So at the end of 2 innings, our score remains the same. Salem Christian Fellowship with 9 and Bethany Baptist 2.
Salem Christian Fellowship's playing some pretty good defense all the way around.
And not too shabby on offense either. It'll be interesting to see what they can do for an encore here in the 3rd inning. They got production out of the bottom of the lineup and the top of the lineup, although I think those walks at the bottom of the lineup are especially painful when you're hoping that those guys can't hit the ball quite as hard.